Today, let's talk about rent versus buying in Central Ohio. This debate is not old, but the answer may surprise you. So let's talk about two common myths that tend to stop you from taking the next step. I'm sure you've heard the saying that renting is throwing money away. You've also probably heard that you need 20% down to buy a house. Neither of these is completely true, and neither is completely false either. And if you've been losing the rent versus buy debate, or losing sleep over this, or you're just wondering if you're making a mistake, either way, I get it. That's exactly why I'm making this video. If you haven't met me before, my name is Lonnie Estep. I help Central Ohio buyers and sellers get it right so you don't end up lying awake at 2 a.m. wondering if you made a mistake. I cover the Columbus metro area and the surrounding suburbs like Pickerington, Lancaster, Canal, Winchester, Reynoldsburg, Pataskala, and more. I'm not here to tell you that renting is bad. I'm also not here to tell you that buying is always smart. I'm here to give you the actual numbers. Then you decide what makes sense for you. Here's what rent looks like right now in Central Ohio. For a one-bedroom or starter rental, you're looking at about $1,200 a month. And keep in mind, that's usually just for one bedroom. Here's what buying looks like. A $300,000 house with a 5% down payment, your monthly payment is roughly going to be $2,300. That includes principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and PMI. So let's be honest, in that scenario, buying costs you about $1,100 more per month than renting. That's real money. So you might be thinking, why would anyone buy? Now we can start the debate. Let me walk you through it, focusing on the data. First, your house payment mostly stays flat. If you have ever rented, then you know rent goes up almost every year. In 5 years, that $1,200 rent is probably going to be $1,400 or $1,600 more. Your $2,300 house payment, roughly going to stay the same from day one. Second, you build equity. Every month, about $250 of this payment goes toward paying down the loan balance. After 5 years, that's about $15,000 that comes back to you when you sell. Third, appreciation. Central Ohio homes have historically gone up about 3% per year. On a $300,000 house, that's $9,000 a year in growing value. After 5 years, that's around $47,000. So let's add that all up. Roughly $15,000 in equity, $47,000 in appreciation. That's about $62,000 of financial benefit if you buy and stay for roughly 5 years. At this point, you might be asking, what about the tax benefit? Well, this depends if you're able to itemize. If you can probably itemize, then the benefit's probably going to be even better. Then if you can only take the standard deduction, then probably not. Now, does that mean buying is always better? No, that would be ignoring the individual factors. If you're moving in 1 to 2 years, renting is probably smarter. Seriously, just keep renting. If you're staying 5 years, buying usually wins. And one more thing, because I know this is a top myth and a concern. You do not need 20% down. Most first-time home buyers in 2026 put down 3 to 5% on a $300,000 house. That's $9,000 to $15,000 roughly as a down payment, not $60,000. Now this depends on the loan type and the lender, but we can help you with that. One of the main reasons to put 20% down is to avoid PMI. That's an extra monthly fee. But if waiting for 20% means you're renting for another 5 years, you have to ask yourself, which one actually costs you more? One quick thing, I focus on the Columbus metro and surrounding suburbs. These numbers move a little bit depending on where you're located, but the data and the answer doesn't usually change. If you're in Central Ohio and surrounding suburbs and want to talk, text me. My number's in the description. If you want to see the rent versus buy fact sheet for Central Ohio, click the link in the description and I'll send it right over to your inbox. Either way, you get to decide who wins on rent versus buy. It's about your situation.